Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to Dark Souls. Well, this has been a one fucky of a trip. I have commentary for this. I mixed it and saved it, and apparently it has 0 duration. So this is post-commentary because I don't know what happened. And the file for it literally doesn't, like, any files I have for it, there's like no audio. So I don't know. I literally don't know. And I'm just making sure, yep, everything works good. We're looking good. So, being that this is post-commentary, I have some notes. And boy, do I have notes. It's mostly all just like me postulating and rambling endlessly about weird things that aren't even. It's random ideas and theories and stuff that there's no evidence for. Here we find Big Hat Logan, who has begun losing his mind after finding the Regal archives.
Hello there. I was expecting you. This place is truly magnificent, more than expected even. As promised, I shall share the new sorceries with you, and the secret of Sith's immortality.
So yeah, now that just reading a few books, you notice the Crystal Soul Spear and Crystal Magic Weapon and Homing Crystal Soul Mass. So he learned some shit.
The secret of Sith's immortality. If you have fought him and were imprisoned, you must know that Sith is a true undead, different from ourselves. His wounds close promptly, and no mortal blow affects him, granting true insulation from death. His wounds close promptly, and no mortal blow affects him, granting true insulation from death. It is an effect of the primordial crystal, a sacred treasure pillaged by Sith when he turned upon the ancient dragons. So only by destroying the primordial crystal can you so much as scratch his hide. And it so happens, the primordial crystal is in the inner garden of these very archives, the Crystal Forest. The tomes stored in these archives are truly magnificent, a great pool of knowledge, the fruits of superior wisdom and an unquenchable desire for the truth. Some would say Sith had an unsound fixation, but his work is a beautiful, invaluable resource. All progress demands sacrifice, and I certainly bear no antipathy for that wonderful, scaleless beast. The tomes stored...
Okay. So, first off, being that Logan is going crazy, it's kind of the,
Hello there. Oh, I understand. We are in the midst of a revolution. The tomes stop all... farewell.
Anyway, geez.
Hello there. You really are very diligent. Oh, I understand.
Are you done talking to him now? Okay. So the first order of business is Logan going crazy as he, finds out all this crazy information that no mortal man or whatever should ever know. And it's kind of a Lovecraftian trope of, insanity being the direct result of acquiring, secret or forbidden knowledge or whatever, which in probably half his stories he writes about that. Like, if I were to tell you what I know, you would go truly insane and whatnot, which implies that what Sith has done to achieve what he has, it's either like unspeakable or super crazy, requiring too much knowledge for one person to have. And, you know, it's a easy way to make something mysterious and spooky and unknown when you have no idea what you're really trying to write about. Purging stone, ash-colored stone encasing a skull, secret treasure of Astor, Earl of Kareem, reduces curse buildup and break curse. Humans are helpless against curses and can only redirect their influence. The purging stone does not dispel curses, but receives them as a surrogate. The stone itself was once a person or some other being. Well, that came out of nowhere. I forgot about that hard edit. Anyway, and that knowledge apparently made Seath go insane, apparently. So, powerful stuff. Oh yeah, while I was up here, I figured I might as well kill this, Drake here. And I have, like, a really... I don't know. I have no desire to even use the Drake sword, but I kind of got to get it. And, I have, yeah, no aspiration to use it, but, I figured I would rid Lordran of its nuisance once and for all. And, I forgot to see, actually, if you could get within melee range of his tail if you go to the balcony with the, ruined statue. Every time I fight this guy, I've seen tons of other people do this fight, and he never does this. He only does it with me. He just keeps chaining this move together over and over and over again and never stops. I remember one time I had, when this game came to PC, I had like some kind of trainer program, kind of like cheat engine or whatever, and he just kept spamming that move over and over and over again so much that it caused like the game to crash, because I'm guessing, because I had infinite health or whatever, and I'm guessing that just like the damage numbers were so high, like it took all the RAM the game is allotted to store that data. And it just was like, I'm done. I'm crashing. Really extremely annoying. Land, do that. Do your little charge thing. Whoosh. And then just back and forth, back and forth. And I see other people fight him, and he only does that like once or twice. It's super annoying. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But, yeah, I loathe trying to kill him just because of this. But yeah, maybe in New Game Plus, I'll check to see if you can spawn in, up at, like, the Andre and like walk back to that balcony if you can melee his tail, because it seems really convenient that they would have put it there if you couldn't have attacked it with melee. And evidence of him doing this is like proof that you're not supposed to kill him, because he just glitches out and does the same move over and over and over again. So if anybody knows like what I'm doing wrong, let me know, because he just keeps doing the same thing. Much like me saying that he does the same thing over and over again. Just R1 spam him to death. And he only drops a measly 10,000 souls. No neat item. No cool item. Fuck you. 10,000 souls. Have fun. But yeah, back to Seath's secret of immortality. In like a lot of Western RPGs, like he has a thing called like a phylactery, which is like a liches use them to like keep their remains in or whatever, and you have to destroy the phylactery in order to kill the lich. So basically, from what I know, oh yeah, we'll talk about the Katarina chick here, Sigmayr's daughter. So what I know of necromancers is like their ultimate goal in life is to become immortal. So he or she will perform a ritual and like kill themselves, and the ritual's designed in like conjunction with the help of like necromancers or the necromancers' devotees, and the ritual is basically like, yeah, like they resurrect him and he's a lich now, and the remains are like a vellum or something containing the ritual's text or objects is stored in the phylactery, and you have to destroy that in order to like kill the lich. And that's kind of what Seath is he probably did some kind of, because I'll get into this later with the curse mechanic and like crystals and stuff. I don't even know if this is like a legit thing or not, but it's fun to just think about dumb little silly things. But unlike most, well, I gotta wait for me to talk to her.
It was you who rescued me. Why, thank you. I am Sieglind of Katarina. I don't know how I ended up in that crystal. It wasn't terrible in there, but I could hardly move. I must think of some way to repay you. Oh, have you seen my father? You wouldn't miss him. A suit of armor just like mine. Thank goodness. I knew he was here somewhere. Well then, now I must find him. Thanks again, truly. Now I shall just stay put and keep out of trouble. Thank goodness. Well then, now I shall...
We'll talk more about Sieglind or Sieglinda. I'm not sure. But anyway, where was I? Other liches in like D&D or any Western RPG, unlike Seath, most liches will like hide their phylactery or keep it in a mausoleum with like hundreds of identical phylacteries to make it really hard for someone to just run up and kill them. These guys crack me up every time. Watch. Huh? It's like they yeah, like they're having some private conversation or something about how they think the gold golem is super weird or something stupid like that, and like when they look up, yeah, huh? It's like, yeah, they're just staring at the ground, and it's like, oh, somebody's coming. Yeah. Oh god. So yeah, the phylactery kind of thing is a old Hebrew. You would think this armor, the crystal armor, would be more curse resistant than it is, unfortunately. But yeah, just this is all chaotic. I forgot I edited it, and I'm trying to like keep up with my notes, which were like chronological, but then I edited it, so I'm just kind of like, whoa, this is way too quick. So before fighting Seath, I like to buy a few purging stones because you never know what might happen, and the last thing you want to do is have to run back to like Ingward or the female merchant or something before you can take a crack at him again. And I love how fucked up like the purging stones are. Like, it's weird that the item used to be a person. Here's a death montage, but I'm going to keep talking throughout the whole thing. It contains like a soul or a person. Hopefully, like, they're no longer sentient or anything, but it's like the curse never goes away. Like, it has to exist, and the only way to like rid oneself of like the curse is to like pass it on to another being. And almost like one of those cursed items in like a story where like in horror movies or like a story that need to be given away to a willing recipient. Except this is more messed up because the being getting cursed isn't really consenting to it. It's just, you know, taking it like a, like, you know, So then, like, yeah, like I'm guessing the stone is then kind of just like tossed aside like garbage. Like you know, come into a Denny's napkin and your like Happy Meal and then just like throw it away when you're done. And it's just like that being in there is like cursed forever as like this stone just sits like in the grass and is forgotten. It's really messed up. It kind of reminds me of an episode of like Black Mirror, like the Christmas episode with the cookies. Like you get like part of your intelligence like put into a AI thing and it like does shit for you and it's like your slave, but it's you. Yeah, so you're basically taking your consciousness and putting it in a living hell for your own convenience. Which is messed up. I think the word I'm thinking of is dichotomy. God, I just rewatching this shit. I hadn't been in the Crystal Caves in a long time, so I forgot what the hell I was doing. And this is the thing, these enemies, like, they have, like, the purging stone, like, they drop them. So I'm assuming, based off of the fact that they drop the purging stone, that they're, making them, like, as a kind of like a pearl would be for like a regular clam. Yeah. And they're called, can't remember, man-eater clams or man-eater shells. Yeah, man-eater shells. So it's like, yeah, they make the purging stone like a pearl, so they eat and kill somebody, or they eat somebody, and like the undead corpse is like locked away in their mouth or something for eternity until like the thing like turns them into a pearl, which are purging stone, which is ugh, living hell. Oh yeah, and I completely forgot that the golden golem had Siglund trapped inside, and I thought I was like losing my mind that they like moved the DLC golem or something to like the courtyard of the Duke's archives. I was like, what the fuck? And then like when I seen the armor, I was like, oh yeah, Sigmayr's daughter. But yeah, more on the crystal set. We got, you know, Seath doing all these experiments and stuff like that. And you would think that like the crystal set would have a higher resistance to curses. and this is going to be really weird, but it got me thinking. Let me take a drink here. That maybe Seath's immortality is a curse, and the crystals are just a modified version of that curse used by the basilisks, despite like no evidence to support this theory, because when Seath curses you, you turn into the same model as you get from the basilisks. But it's a cool thought to think that maybe the secret to his mortality is like all this crystal is just like a special curse that makes things like undead or whatever. And when you die from a curse, like your corpse is like left frozen in like the position when you died. Maybe that's like how the crystal curse works too. And you're like reborn anew, but your old body or portion of it remains, which is why like your HP and stats get like divided into like a third lower than what they were. So like the theory is like maybe Seath like cursed himself and turned from his like, or he's cursed himself and turned his old form into a crystal and focused on like leveling that up or something to make it more powerful. And it's what his other form is like reborn from. Kind of like, yeah, if you cloned yourself and you kept your clone in like a closet and it just like worked out and got really strong, and like that was what was like you were being like rebirthed from as an undead, is like you're splitting yourself in two. Even though it's totally nonsensical, like the crap I'm talking about. It's just my Western brain trying to make sense of this like Eastern storytelling aesthetic. And here we got Seath the Scaleless, the little bitch that he is. Yeah, those like crystals like cause curse buildup when you're standing in them. So, and there's some of those bodies I was talking about. You'd think they would retexture them to like fit with the motif of what's going on. I think that would have been cool. But alas. Oh, dog hears something because I'm recording, so he's got to bark at some point. So we just busted the phylactery, or whatever this game calls it. So he's no longer immortal. You would think like he hid it, you know, in the crystal caves, which is like deep in like the gardens or whatever, and no one's ever, judging by how treacherous it is to get there, like no one's ever intended to like walk through the crystal caves and get here. And Seath had like a sixth sense or seen us doing it and was just like, even though he's blind. So somebody must have tipped him off. He flew down from like the Duke's archives into the crystal caves to keep us away from ruining his immortality. But what's really messed up is like, if you look at him, he's just like, he's disgusting. And he chooses this over death because he's like horrified to die for whatever reason. You would think if you looked like this and you were disgraced and a sellout and a coward, like you would just want to die. So you would be like, I'm just gonna not have scales and die naturally. Who knows? Who really knows? And we got him. I was trying to do a tail cut to get the Moonlight Greatsword, but apparently, I swear to God. Shut up! Shut up! Anyway, Yeah. Oh, and in hindsight, I should have worn the rusted iron ring in the crystal caves, because that improves good footing, or improves footing on like in shitty situations. But for some reason, I completely forgot about it doing that. So I just slid off of every flat surface that existed, which was quite a nightmare, to be honest. I had one hell of a time getting through there, and then I couldn't remember how to get in there, and I thought I had to go down somehow, and
Oh, there you are. It's been a while. Or were you just here? This fascinating place defeats my sense of time. The undead. What's it? What the other one first? The undead.
so Logan is officially off his pills and has become completely nonsensical. So either he's been reading more, or I don't know how something in a book could cause someone to go insane, but evidently it has. And it's a nightmare. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hello again. We're both managing quite well, aren't we? But I haven't found my father yet. Have you seen him? Really? Then I must be off. I'm sorry he's caused you trouble. He has a knack for that. If you just stay put.
So, yeah, that's Sigland. That's his daughter, and there's a part in the next part to this. I'm doing them separate because there's a lot of crap I have to write.
Oh, hello there. Oh, please, as always.
So as you've probably
Well, let's
noticed,
explain.
these episode parts are shorter because I lost the commentary. But I forgot that
Come back.
yeah, Sigland was there. And
Oh, there you are. Just so you know, Master Logan has left on his own again. It seems that he is still determined to find the famed regal archives in Anor Londo, and I have decided that I must search for him.
I'm not sure if she's actually undead or not,
You never go hollow.
because she has to be, but she's kind of just like her dad's like babysitter, like always going around and finding him and stuff. And there's another.
Are you sure? Then, milady, what terrifying news. What am I to do? All because of my shortcomings. It is my fault. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm distracted by grief. Pay me no mind.
There's another part where she says she has to kill him again, which is like, oh, so you killed him once before because he went hollow. Interesting. And then I was expecting Logan to be in here because the last time I took his quest this far, I was a mage. And usually that's the only time I ever do this because that's the only point. And I forgot about the fact that in order for you to fight him, the entirety of his quest, you have to purchase his entire stock, and I believe you have to have an intelligence high enough for him to talk to you. And he'll be hostile in here and mumbling and using spells against you, and when he dies, you get access to like his armor and his big hat and all that crap. But being that we're not a sorcerer, we didn't get that option, so all we get is looting his soul, which is here. Oh yeah, and I found the soul of Rhea of Thurland. Great soul of a hero of legend who has long ago gone hollow, used to acquire yada yada souls of the source of all life, blah blah blah. So I found the remains or the soul of Rhea of Thorland when I was out and about farming, so that's why Petrus was like, oh, she's dead. Oh god, she's dead. What am I ever gonna do? And it's like, well, you're literally a piece of garbage and you probably killed her yourself because, yeah. But anyway, that's it for this part. Nice short one. Goodbye.